which is lesson 1D. So we're going to start with the final step of unit 1. I want to ask you guys some questions. Please, can you think of this question? What do you think are some good ways to learn new vocabulary in English? What do you think are good ways to learn new vocabulary? Or how do you learn new vocabulary in English? Think about this question. Think about this question because I'm going to ask some of you, what are the ways you think are good ways in order to learn a new vocabulary in English? Nikki, how do you or what do you think are good ways to learn new vocabulary?
Yo estoy confundida. ¿El ways significa alguna, o sea, algo nuevo para aprender vocabulario inglés?
Ajá, ¿cuáles son las maneras? ¿Cuál es una buena manera o una buena forma de aprender vocabulario en inglés?
En cell phone, use applications. For example, me, I use the application Simple. Is good for me.
Okay, and that application is for English or?
In English, teacher, is for levels. Hay como un examen en cada nivel del vocabulario y así.
Okay, a good way then to learn new vocabulary could be using apps or any application that could help you in order to improve your vocabulary. Let's see, Christian, what do you use or what do you think are some good ways to learn new vocabulary?
Excuse me, teacher. I think, personally, I think is a good way read the news in English.
Okay.
For example, New York Times. Yes.
Read some news in the paper. Read. Nikki. What about you, Anita? What do you think are good ways?
I think that one way to learn new vocabulary is some lyrics that we like because we look for the meaning of the song.
Exactly, some lyrics. Analyzing some lyrics of your favorite music. That's excellent because you are using something you like in order to improve your vocabulary, looking up for the meaning of some of these words or phrases, maybe. Yes. Saulo, how do you think is a good way you can improve your vocabulary?
Books.
Okay, reading news.
Lyrics. Lyrics.
With the lyrics of some music. Okay.
And books, the vocabulary.
Okay, if you want to learn something specific, you can read a book that is related to the topic you want to learn. George, how do you learn new vocabulary?
Watching videos or movies in English.
Okay, watching videos. videos or movies in English. That's a good one. Steve, how do you learn new vocabulary?
Listen music, teacher.
Listening to music. Yes, let's write it over here, listening to music. Remember that the way you want to learn, it depends or it's up to you basically, because everybody learns in a different way. But when you are learning something new, especially a new language, it's also very important that you match what you like with this new language. For example, if I like to read a lot, maybe I'm going to look for some news or maybe books in order to read and to learn new words, ¿cierto? Sí, es una buena forma leer para aprender más vocabulario, porque podemos ir viendo palabras que no conocemos y buscar el significado. Lo mismo, como nos decía su compañera, analizando la letra de las canciones cuando están en otro idioma. Generalmente si hay una canción que tenemos pegada en la cabeza, ¿no es cierto? Es stick in our heads and it's like repeating over and over and over again. In your heads, you can look up for the lyric. Sí, es un excelente ejercicio no solo de listening, de vocabulario y de pronunciación, el escuchar música en el idioma que queramos aprender. Porque cuando nosotros tenemos la letra de la canción, podemos ir identificando el significado y buscando las palabras que son nuevas para nosotros. Obviamente ya con la repetición de la canción, pues nos vamos a ir recordando el significado de ciertas palabras que no conocíamos. Watching videos and movies is a good way also to learn vocabulary and also to practice listening and like tape in our minds the sounds. ¿Sí? Cuando nosotros escuchamos, estamos grabando en nuestra mente todos los sonidos que necesitamos para que al momento de hablar, pues ya tengamos esos sonidos base o ese conocimiento que muchas veces es inconsciente y que lo adquirimos solo escuchando. Using some apps. Apps are very good friends with you now that you have access to internet. Ahora con el internet pueden encontrar de todo. No hay excusas para decir, teacher, es que no sé cómo. Porque ustedes pueden entrar a YouTube y buscan un tutorial. Pueden descargarse una aplicación y pueden practicar. Ahora incluso hay aplicaciones especializadas en cada una de las skills o de las habilidades que ustedes quieran reforzar. Si quieren ponerle más empeño o se les hace un poco más difícil el listening, hay algunas aplicaciones de listening en inglés que podrían descargarse. Una muy buena aplicación para repasar todo lo que es vocabulario son las aplicaciones como un poco básicas, como Babel, Duolingo y todas esas que nos permiten aprender idiomas porque aprendemos mucho vocabulario por repetición. So, yes, thank you for your answers, guys. What do you think is a good way to learn vocabulary? Great answers. Using some apps, analyzing some lyrics of music, or maybe watching movies, and so on. Thank you. So now I want you to pay attention for the next thing I'm going to show you. Today you're going to learn as well four phrases and words you can use in order to introduce a purpose of what you're talking to. So, for example, when you want to say how you learn vocabulary in English, si nosotros queremos un poco hablar de algo y queremos mencionar o introducir un poco de cómo hacerlo, de cuál es el propósito o para qué estamos haciendo algo de forma determinada, podemos utilizar las 4 frases o palabras que les voy a indicar a continuación. Pay attention, guys. No, just look at this. Here we have the phrase in order to. Do you know what this phrase means? ¿Qué significa esta frase? In order to. Do you have any idea what does it mean? De manera que, exactly. De manera que. So, we have this phrase que significa de manera que. Y siempre va a ir acompañada de un infinitivo. What is an infinitive? Can you remember? ¿Qué era el infinitivo? Can you remember what's an infinitive?
La forma base del verbo, o sea, tú y el verbo.
Perfecto, es la forma base del verbo. Es decir, que va a ir acompañado de la partícula to y el verbo en su forma original, ¿no es cierto? Por ejemplo, estamos hablando de to cook, to play, to run, to listen, etcétera, etcétera. This is the first phrase we have. Esta es la primera manera que tenemos como para introducir un poco del cómo o del propósito de algo que nosotros queremos conversar. So, don't forget that you're going to use this phrase with infinitive. Siempre, 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 después de in order to, vamos a utilizar el verbo en infinitivo. So, let me show you the next phrase. Vamos a la siguiente frase. The next phrase we have is to plus infinitive. O sea, tenemos el infinitivo. Justo lo que nos decía su compañera. Es decir, estamos hablando de utilizar to, la partícula to, más del verbo en su forma original. Por ejemplo, to learn new information. En este caso, pues estaríamos refiriéndonos o lo utilizaríamos en español como para. ¿Sí? Este to tendría el significado de para aprender, para cocinar, para pintar, para hablar, ¿sí? Ese sería el significado cuando utilicemos un to plus the verb, cuando nosotros nos referimos o queremos introducir o hablar sobre el propósito de algo. To learn new information, para aprender nueva información. Okay. Let's continue with the next word. Es una palabrita muy pequeñita, pero que tiene un significado un poco más grande. What's the meaning of this word so? Can you remember what's the meaning of so?
Es como sí o también quiere añadir algo.
Ajá, es para añadir algo, muy bien. Y sí tendría el significado de cómo. ¿Qué creen ustedes?
Así que.
Así que. Entonces, también podría tomarse como un entonces. Y este so generalmente nos permite a nosotros como dar la consecuencia, se podría decir, o el resultado de algo. Si nosotros vamos a hablar de propósitos, es decir, de cuál es la razón o el motivo del por qué hacemos algo, pues este so nos permite como dar esa consecuencia de los pasos que estamos tomando. Por ejemplo, me hago explicar. Here we have, for example, knowing your learning style helps you study more effectively. So you remember what you have learned more easily. ¿Sí? Conocer tu estilo de aprendizaje te ayuda a estudiar de forma mucho más eficiente, más efectiva. Entonces, o así que, o de manera que puedas recordar lo que aprendiste de forma más fácil. ¿Sí? Ven, es como que tenemos una segunda parte después del so que nos complementa a la primera oración, nos da como la consecuencia, el efecto de la primera parte de la oración. Recuerden que el so entonces significa así que, de manera que o entonces. Ok, and we have the final phrase. Tenemos una frase final que también podemos ocupar cuando estemos hablando de propósitos. Y es la palabrita so that. Do you know what this means? ¿Sabemos o tenemos una idea de qué puede significar este so that?
¿Y qué? Tal vez.
Así que puede ser. Así que tendríamos por lo que, o también podría significar I think that's the meanings we can use. Así que o por lo que. Okay. So this so that, look at this, you can use it almost in the same way as so. For example, it helps to study in a quiet place so that you can concentrate. Sí, ayuda mucho a estudiar en un espacio tranquilo, en un lugar tranquilo, de manera que o por lo que tú puedes concentrarte. Así que tú puedes concentrarte. Sí, nos está también ayudando a explicar el propósito de la primera oración. So don't forget these 4 phrases. Can you remember me the phrases we were talking about? ¿Cuáles eran las 4 frases? Can you remember me, guys?
In order to.
In order to.
So
that.
Y so that.
that.
To más el infinitivo y so that. Very good, guys. So now we're going to be back to the main question, right? Remember, we were discussing the ways we can use in order to learn new vocabulary. So now you're going to watch some pictures and you're going to tell me which ways are these of learning new vocabulary. ¿Qué formas son estas como para aprender un nuevo vocabulario? What do you think are these ways?
write or repeat the vocabulary.
Writing down the vocabulary, perfect, or repeating the vocabulary. What else?
Listen to music.
Listening to music. What else? What other ways can we have?
Look pictures.
Can you repeat, Luis, please?
Look the pictures. See what I see.
Yes, looking at the pictures and seeing what are they. What other ways can you see here, Steffi? Can you guess the next way to learn vocabulary?
Memorize new words.
Excellent, memorizing new words. What else? What do you think, or how is she learning new vocabulary?
Speaking.
Speaking, okay, repeating by the way they are talking. And the last one, what do you think is this?
Right.
Sure, he is reading. He is reading in order to learn maybe some new words of vocabulary. Thank you, guys. Now we're going to listen to a short conversation. We're going to listen to two people talking, and they are going to talk about what's the best way. You might guess the answer. What's the best way to learn new vocabulary in English? So let's listen to the next conversation, and you're going to help me completing these 3 questions. Let me share with you the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to make it bigger and bigger and bigger so you can see the questions you're going to answer. Look at this. Here we have 3 questions, guys. What system does Maria use for learning vocabulary? What system does Maria's sister use? And does Gilberto think either system will work for him? Okay, so let's listen. Vamos a escuchar. Traten de captar las respuestas de las 3 preguntas. ¿Qué sistema utiliza María para aprender nuevo vocabulario? ¿Qué sistema ocupa la hermana de María? Y si a Gilberto pues le va a funcionar cualquiera de los 2 sistemas, ¿sí? Listen carefully, guys. Let me share the sound of my computer so everybody can listen. And then we start. Okay, let's start.
Track 1.22.
How's your revision going?
Not so good. I think I can remember most of the grammar, but remembering vocabulary is a bit harder, for me anyway.
Yes, there are a lot of words to remember.
What about you?
For me, it is probably the opposite. I find the grammar hard to get my head around, but the vocabulary is a lot easier. I've been testing myself at home and it's okay.
How do you manage to remember all the words, though? What's your secret?
Well, it's no secret. I have this kind of system for learning words that seems to make it easy.
Okay, what?
Well, when I get home from class, I record all the new words I've learned onto my phone. And then I might do something like go for a run, and I listen to them when I'm running. And I make up these sentences with the words and say them to myself.
As you're running?
Yes, as I'm running. I just say the sentences quietly to myself.
Do you remember what the words mean?
Most of the time. If I forget, I check in my notebook when I get home from my run. And sometimes I play the words and write them down. I think the most important thing is to keep repeating them. I don't know why, but remembering the sounds of the words is important for me. Like last week, I learned the word shine. You know, like the sun is shining. And that sh sound at the beginning of the word makes me think of light that's getting brighter and brighter.
Interesting. But I don't know if it would work for me. I need to see things written down. I need to look at the word.
Right. My sister's like that too. She uses vocabulary cards. Have you tried that?
No. How does that work?
She has these small cards and writes all the new words on a card with a picture, or a definition and an example, sometimes a translation too. It worked really well, for a while.
For a while? Why? What happened?
She left all the cards on the train.
Oh, yes. That's probably what I would do.
I felt so sorry for her. After all that work.
It sounds like a good idea, but it sounds like you have to be quite organized to have a card system.
Yes, that's true.
And to be honest, I think I may be too lazy to write all those cards and keep them with me wherever I go.
Okay, guys. So, did you heard what is Maria's system? How is she learning vocabulary?
Records words in her phone.
Yes, she record the words in her cell phone, and what does she do later?
Listen.
Listen to the words. Okay, she listened to the recorded words. El sistema de María es interesante. It's quite interesting because she records the words she wants to learn or she wants to read. She wants to improve. Es decir, que todas las palabras que María va aprendiendo, que son nuevas y que quiere recordar, llega a su casa y ella las graba en su teléfono. She records the words in her cell phone. So later she can, para después, cuando ella sale a trotar, when she goes running, she can listen again to the words. Puede escuchar las palabras cuando ella está trotando o sale a caminar. So she record the words and then listen again them. What about Maria's sister? What does she do in order to learn new vocabulary? Did you listen?
No, she writes cards. Imagine.
She writes or she uses cards, vocabulary cards. She uses vocabulary cards. I don't know how many of you use this system as well. Puede ser de mucha ayuda el sistema de tarjetas cuando uno está aprendiendo un nuevo idioma. Sí, generalmente uno escribe la palabra nueva, pega una imagen y a diario va cambiando de tarjetas y va recordando, ¿no? Solo con las imágenes uno va acordándose de qué palabra se trataba. What about number 3? Does Gilberto think either system will work for him? What do you think? ¿Le funcionará o no le funcionará estos métodos a este chico Gilberto?
No.
No? Yes, he is at the end of the recording. He says, I don't think they will work on me. You know, not all the systems work well for everybody. Sí, no todos los sistemas son o funcionan bien para todas las personas de la misma manera. A algunos se les dará más fácil aprender vocabulario, como decían ustedes, con aplicaciones, tal vez para otros viendo películas, para otros ser escuchando música, para otros escribiendo lo que están aprendiendo. pues los métodos de aprendizaje pueden cambiar de persona a persona. There is not a rule. No existe una regla como para decirles, ustedes tienen que aprender vocabulario así y punto. No. It's free. It's up to you guys. Ya todo depende de ustedes. Let's continue with the next part. So I'm going to ask some of you to help me reading these 3 parts right here. Okay, so can you please help me reading the first part of Fausto, Visual Learners?
Yes, teacher. They prefer to learn by seeing or reading things and need to see new information right down.
They prefer to learn by seeing or reading things. They need to see new information written down. Sí, hay personas que prefieren ver o leer, ¿sí? O necesitan que lo que están aprendiendo esté escrito en algún lugar, ¿sí? They need to see the information written down. Let's continue with the second part. Please, Miguel, can you help me reading this one, please?
Auditory learners. They prefer to learn by listening to new information. They also like to talk about the new things they've learned.
Exactly. They learn by listening. These auditory learners learn by listening. Aprenden de mejor manera escuchando. O también hablando, ¿sí? They also like to talk about new things they have learned. Les gusta hablar de las cosas que han aprendido. And finally, we have the kinesthetic learners. Can you help me reading this, please, Kathy?
Okay, kinesthetic learners. They prefer to learn by doing something. They don't like sitting still for very long.
Yes. These kinesthetic learners love to learn new things by doing something. Sí, hay personas a las que les gusta aprender haciendo algo. Y mientras escriben, mientras corren, mientras cocinan, mientras están paradas haciendo algo, sí. Hay personas que aprenden mejor cuando están en movimiento o haciendo algo. So they don't like to be sitting for a long time. So, according to these descriptions, what kind of learner do you think is Maria? ¿Qué tipo de aprendiz creen ustedes que es María?
Auditory learners.
Okay. Yes, could be auditory learning because she likes to listen to the words she record. Sorry, it was Maria. What else? What other?
Kinesthetic.
Kinesthetic, yes, because she likes to go running when she listens to the vocabulary. What about her sister? Is she kinesthetic learner? Is she auditory learner or visual learner? What do you think?
Visual.
Visual learners.
Visual learning.
Visual learner, very good. So visual learner would be Maria's sister. What about Gilberto? ¿Qué tipo de aprendizaje creen que sea el que mejor describe a Gilberto?
Visual.
Yes, visual. Yes. He is a visual learner because he likes to see the information written down. Le gusta ver escrita la información, ¿verdad? So, these are good ways some people can learn. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So now we're moving to the next part. I want you to help me with the following. Vamos a ver, just give me a second. I need to erase this. Before I move on, can you tell me, Joanna, what kind of learner do you think you are? ¿Qué tipo de aprendizaje te representa más a ti, Joanna?
I think that a visual learner.
Okay, visual learner. What about you, Brian?
Auditory learners.
Auditor learner. Okay, you like to listen. What about you, Steve? What kind of learner do you consider you are?
Auditory learner.
Okay, you learn by listening. Jimmy, what about you?
Auditory learners and visual learners.
Okay. Sammy, what kind of learner?
I prefer visual learners and auditor learners.
Okay. Tania, what do you think?
Visual learners.
Visual learner. Stefano, what kind of learner do you consider yourself?
I consider I am a kinesthetic learners, the third option.
Okay, the third of them. Very good. Thank you, guys. So we have different kind of learners here in the class. And now we're going to remember a little bit of the words we saw previously, the words we saw in order to introduce the purpose. Don't forget, we were talking about words such as in order to plus infinitive, and also the use of so and so that. Now, you're going to help me to complete this exercise, guys. We're going to read these 3 phrases right here, and you're going to tell me where can you find the phrases we have already learned. Okay, so in the first one, can you help me, please? Lisette. Lisette Pineda. Help. Which word can we find to introduce purpose in the first sentence?
Read or
yes, read the first one, please. Leamos la primera.
Yeah. In order to find the most useful way to learn new information, it's a good idea to think about the kind of learning you are.
¿Y cuál de las frases que aprendimos al inicio de las 4 frases encontramos aquí?
In order to.
Exactly, in order to. Thank you, Liz. What about the next sentence? Can you help me reading, please? Annabelle.
Teacher, está mal con el internet.
Yes, I have someone here with the name of Perez Jocelyn. I don't know if it's... Okay, let me see, let's change.
Teacher, ¿sí me escucha?
Sí, te escucho.
Teacher, estoy sin luz y estoy con megas y le escucho intermitente, no logro escuchar bien.
No te preocupes, Josie.
Yo leo, teacher.
Ok.
Number 2, knowing your learning style helps you study more effective, so you remember what you have learned more easily. Aquí el que hemos usado en las anteriores, so, entonces.
So, thank you, Sammy. Can you help me with the last one, please, Cinderly? Espinosa, help me please with number 3.
To learn new information, try to think of an image in your head.
What are we using?
To learn.
To learn, exactly. To plus infinitive, yes. To learn. Thank you. Now, guys, you're going to help me joining these two sentences using those words. Ok, vamos a unir estas frases que tenemos a continuación para y utilizando las frases que nosotros vimos, es decir, so that, so, in order to, la que ustedes consideren necesario. ¿Cómo uniríamos estas frases? Vamos a ver la primera. Brian, can you help me with number 1, please? I write. Hello, Brian. Okay, can you help me, please, Gabby?
Yes, teacher. I write the new words in a vocabulary notebook. Two, I remember them.
Ojo, cuando estamos utilizando el to, gracias a Gaby, no vamos a utilizar ningún sujeto. Es decir, si quiero yo utilizar el to, va a ir junto al verbo. Vamos a eliminar el I. ¿Sí? Y utilizaríamos en lugar del I, que es el sujeto, vamos a utilizar la palabra to. Entonces nos quedaría: I write the new words in a vocabulary notebook to remember them. ¿Sí? Escribo nuevas palabras de vocabulario en el cuaderno para acordarme de esas palabras. ¿Sí? In notebook to remember. ¿Qué otra frase podríamos ocupar para unir ambas oraciones? Melanie.
In order to.
Thank you, Steffi. In order to.
So that.
Exacto, in order to o so that. ¿Cómo nos quedaría si utilizamos estas frases?
Quedaría I write the new words in the vocabulary notebook so that I remember them.
Exactly. Sí. Si utilizamos nosotros, thank you, Melanie, si utilizamos in order to, tampoco utilizaríamos el sujeto, ¿sí? Ni con el to ni con el in order to utilizamos un sujeto. Pero si vamos a ocupar un sujeto, si es que ocupamos so that. Es decir, que si ustedes van a leer la frase con so that, debemos incluir el sujeto. De manera que yo, ¿sí? Entonces, escribo las palabras en el cuaderno de vocabulario de manera que yo pueda acordarme de esas palabras, ¿sí? So that I remember them. Thank you. Angie, can you help me with number 2, please? Which phrase would you use?
I practice pronunciation
to record myself saying words on my phone.
Exactly, to record myself saying words on my phone. Thank you. What other way can we use? To record, muy bien. Viviana, ¿qué otra frase podríamos ocupar?
In order to.
¿Cómo nos quedaría?
I practice pronunciation in order to record myself saying words on my phone.
Perfect, thank you. And let's move to the final one. Priscilla, can you help me with number 3, please?
Yes. I write grammar rules on a piece of paper so that I understand them better. Or
exactly.
Or,
Both are good. I write grammar rules on a piece of paper in order to understand them better, or I write grammar rules in a piece of paper to understand or so that I understand them better. Very good, guys. So there are also 2 words that you're going to see in the next reading. Sí, vamos a ver en la siguiente lectura un par de palabras. Sí, un par de palabras. Estas palabritas. This and these. So first, we're going to read the article. Then we're going to complete this exercise. Okay, so let's go back to the reading. Vamos a ir a una pequeña lectura. And I'm going to ask some of you to help me reading as well. So let's move to the reading. Here we are. So the reading we have here is, what kind of learner are you? Vamos a ver qué tipo de aprendices son ustedes. ¿Cuál es su forma de aprender? So can you please help me reading this first part, Erica, please? Help me reading this.
Different people learn in different ways. In order to find the most useful way to learn new information, it is a good idea to think about the kind of learner you are. Visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. Knowing your learning styles helps you study more effectively, so you remember what you have learned more easily. Remember, you don't just learn when you study. This advice can also be useful for learning at work in your free time.
Exactly. Thank you, Erica. So it's what we have been talking about. Different people learn in different ways. Can you identify some of the words we learn in this part of the reading? ¿En dónde o qué palabras podemos encontrar para como hablar un poco del propósito? ¿Dónde podemos ver esas frases en esta parte de la lectura?
In order to find.
Okay, yes, we have in order to. What other phrase can you identify?
So you remember?
So you remember. What else?
To learn.
Okay, to learn. Where is it? Where is it? Let me see. To learn, excellent. What else? to think. Thank you. Perfect. That would be like the phrases we can find in this first paragraph. Let's move to the next one. Let's move to the next. Vamos a ver qué encontramos en el siguiente párrafo. So, let's move to the next. Can you, or maybe, is there any word you don't know what's the meaning? ¿Alguna palabra nueva en este párrafo? No? Let me move to the next one. Okay, visual learners. Can you help me reading this visual learners part, please, Michelle?
Yes, teacher.
Please help me reading the visual learners.
¿Leo la lectura?
Yes, this part, please.
Yeah, it helps to study in a quiet place so that you can concentrate to learn new information. Try to think of an image in your head or make a diagram to highlight different points. This the technique it helps your memory, and it means you can find the information easily when you look at your notes again.
Thank you, Michelle. So here we have two words that maybe can be quite difficult for you. Let me explain you. Tenemos dos palabritas aquí. Tenemos la palabra highlight, que significa exactamente lo que hice sobre estas palabras, es decir, resaltar. Ese sería el significado de highlight, resaltar. Y tenemos la palabra technique. De la segunda palabra yo sé que saben el significado de esta palabra, technique, ¿no es cierto? Esta técnica. ¿Por qué le subrayé esta palabra? Porque muchas de las palabras en inglés, en algunos casos se van a encontrar con palabras que estén con la C y la H junto. Palabras como, por ejemplo, chemist, or maybe and we have we have these words, okay. Tenemos tres palabras aquí. Tenemos technique, chemist, and mechanic. En algunos casos van a encontrarse en inglés con palabras como estas que tienen la C y la H, ¿sí? Y que tienen un sonido muy seco o cortante. Es decir, que el sonido es como una C, nada de ch, ni sh, no. El sonido va a ser de una C, es decir, technique, chemist or mechanic. No vamos a utilizar o no vamos a pronunciar la H. En este caso tenemos una H completamente muda. Por lo tanto, en la pronunciación tendríamos this technique help us or helps your memory. ¿Sí? Y el acento, sobre todo en esta palabra, lo tenemos en la parte final. ¿Sí? Technique. Vamos a acentar un poco más en la última parte. Thank you, guys. So, which of the phrases can you find here? ¿Qué frases podemos encontrar aquí?
So that, okay.
So that, okay.
To think.
To learn.
Very good. So that, to learn.
To think.
Think. Very good.
To study.
To study. To highlight. Exactly. So these would be more or less the phrases we can use. Here we saw a lot of to plus infinitive. ¿Sí? En este pequeño párrafo vemos el uso bastante de el to más el infinitivo. Es decir, por ejemplo, dice, it helps to study. Ayuda a estudiar en un lugar quieto, ¿no es cierto? De manera que podamos concentrarnos, etcétera, etcétera. Thank you, guys. So, well done, well done. Now, let's move to the next part. Let's move to the next. Auditory learners, can you please help me reading? Miguel, can you help me reading this second part, please?
Going to a lecture is a good way for you to learn. Read your notes aloud, then cover them and try to say them again from memory. Also try to use new words when you're talking to people. If you are studying words on a particular topic, you can listen to podcasts that include this vocabulary. The ideas show helps you remember what you need to know.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Miguel. So, here we have something interesting. You can listen to podcasts. Esa es otra forma de aprender nuevo vocabulario, escuchando a las personas, obviamente, que son, que les gusta mucho escuchar. Escuchen tutoriales, escuchen podcasts. Ahora que están tan de moda los podcasts, you can listen, you can try to find a good podcast in English so you can keep on listening while you do anything. Mientras ustedes están escribiendo, dibujando, bañándose en la ducha, lo que sea, pueden escuchar incluso podcasts que les permiten a ustedes mejorar el vocabulario. So, what do you think, or what phrases can you find in this part? ¿Qué frases encontramos por aquí?
To learn.
Okay, to learn.
To say. To say.
To say. ¿Alguien me decía teacher?
To a lecture no es una frase.
To a lecture no podría ser una frase porque, mucho ojo, tienen que ustedes hablar del propósito. En este caso, going to sería ir a una ponencia, a una conferencia, ¿sí? To a lecture no constituye parte de las frases que estamos nosotros aprendiendo, porque el to está acompañado de un sustantivo, no de un verbo, ¿sí? A lecture sería un sustantivo, una conferencia. No estamos utilizando un verbo justo después de to. Acuérdense que el infinitivo es to más el verbo en su forma original. Por eso, pues, en el caso de to learn, to say, to think, sí son aplicables.
To use.
To use, muy bien. To use. Exactly. So I think we have the phrases. Here we have a lot of, tenemos un montón de, pues, en este caso, infinitives, tenemos un montón aquí. What else? What else? Let's see the next one. Vamos a la siguiente. Just let me erase this. And let's keep on to the final part. Please, Erika, can you help me reading this one, please?
Kinesthetic Learners. In order to learn a new information, you need to be doing something. It helps to study in a place where you can't walk around the room, touch things and move as freely as possible. Make sure you take regular breaks and go for a walk. This will help you to concentrate and remain interested in what you are studying.
Thank you, Erika. Excellent. What phrases can we find here?
In order to.
In order to. What else can we see?
To study.
To study.
To study. Excellent.
To concentrate.
Yes, to concentrate. It helps you to concentrate. Very good, ladies. And we have the final part of the reading, this really small part. These descriptions are not only a guide. Most people use a mixture of learning styles. To study successfully, you need to experiment and find the most suitable method for you. Do you know what is the meaning of this word right here below? ¿Cuál será el significado de suitable? Do you know what it means?
Adecuado.
Exacto, esta palabrita significa adecuado. ¿Cuál es el método adecuado o apropiado para cada uno de nosotros, ¿no es cierto? Solo ustedes experimentando pueden saber cuál es el método más apropiado para ustedes. Most of the time, aquí nos dice, most of the people have a mixture of learning styles. Casi siempre tenemos una mezcla de formas para aprender, ¿no es cierto? Hay personas que aprenden mucho escuchando y viendo, otros tal vez solo moviéndose, otros solo escribiendo, ya depende de cada persona. So, pay attention, guys, to these phrases. Look to these phrases carefully. Here we have some phrases at the end of each paragraph. We had some phrases that were in bold. Pueden ustedes ver las últimas frases que están en negrita. ¿Sí? Pay attention to these phrases. Especially pay attention to these words, because you're going to answer something. You're going to help me answering these 3 questions, these 3 rules on the right side, okay? So this and these refer to ideas already mentioned, or do you think they are used to talk about new ideas? ¿Qué creen? ¿Los ocupamos? Tell me.
Mention.
Ideas already mentioned. Okay. Yes, that's right. Generalmente es esto o estos, ¿sí? Los vamos a utilizar para referirnos a ideas que ya hemos hablado o a las que ya nos hemos referido anteriormente. Ideas that we have already mentioned. Look at this. Cuando ustedes utilizan este this, ¿se refiere a una sola palabra o a una idea completa?
A complete idea.
A complete idea. Excellent. A complete idea. ¿Cómo nos damos cuenta? Pues miren, estamos hablando de esta técnica, ¿no? This technique. This technique. Esta técnica, o sea, la idea completa de la técnica nos referimos. Yes, a complete idea. What about the third one? We use or we sometimes put a noun or an adjective after these words. ¿Qué palabra va después de estas palabritas this or this?
Noun.
Ajá, exactly. A noun. Van acompañadas de un sustantivo, no de un adjetivo. No estamos calificando nada, simplemente nos estamos refiriendo a algo, ¿no es cierto? Utilizamos sustantivos. Look at this. Here we have this technique and these ideas. So we're going to use a noun after any of these words. Muy bien, chicos. Utilizamos un sustantivo. Thank you so much. So now that you have recognized and have helped me to complete these exercises, we're going to move to the production part. Keep in mind all those phrases because you're going to use them now. Vamos a utilizar esas frases ahora. What are we going to do, guys? Let me share the screen and a link with you. Les voy a compartir un link where you're going to practice these ideas. Okay, so you're going to think now in something, any skill, any activity, any sport you're good at. Si piensen en lo que son buenos. Por ejemplo, yo soy bueno, maybe playing soccer or playing basketball, or I'm really good at cooking desserts, or I really love to, I don't know, maybe sing songs. It depends to you, okay? Keep on thinking, what are you good at? Vayan pensando en qué son muy buenos, qué es lo que se les da muy bien hacer. Qué sé yo, tal vez cantar canciones, jugar fútbol, básquet, etcétera, etcétera, ¿sí? Vayan pensando en esas actividades que ustedes se les hace muy fácil realizar. Y piensen en estos puntos en específico. See, don't worry because I'm going to share with you this screen on your WhatsApp group. Les voy a compartir esto en el grupo de WhatsApp de forma que se les haga también un poco más sencillo. Pay attention to this. Think how easy it is to learn that skill. ¿Qué tan fácil es aprender esa habilidad que ustedes tienen o lo que se les facilita hacer? ¿Qué tan fácil es jugar fútbol, cantar o tal vez preparar postres, lo que a ustedes les guste hacer? ¿Y qué tan fácil o difícil es? What are the problems people have when they learn it? ¿Sí? ¿Qué problemas generalmente tiene la gente cuando empieza a aprender este deporte o esta actividad? ¿Qué problemas? Tal vez es muy cansado to practice soccer. I don't know. ¿Qué otro problema puede ser? Que tal vez no cuenten con el equipo adecuado o que se desanimen muy rápido. Ya depende de la actividad de la que ustedes vayan a hablar. What are good ways to learn this skill? ¿Qué aconsejarían ustedes? ¿Cuáles serían los pasos o los consejos que nos dan para poder aprender a realizar esta actividad? ¿Sí? And what are the good, why are they good ways? ¿Por qué creen ustedes que sus consejos o lo que, lo que nos están diciendo que podríamos hacer para aprender es una buena idea? ¿Sí? Por ejemplo, si yo les digo, a good way to learn to play soccer is to practice every day. Y creo que la mejor forma de aprender a jugar fútbol es practicando todos los días. Because you need to improve your muscles. ¿Sí? Necesitas mejorar la musculatura o la resistencia y por eso es bueno practicar todos los días. ¿Sí? Vayan pensando entonces en qué actividad, qué deporte o qué tipo de, no sé, estudio, trabajo o cosa les gusta realizar a ustedes. Y traten de responder estas 4 preguntas en el texto que van a escribir. Les voy a enviar un link. You're going to open a Padlet link so you can start typing there. But first, let me share with you this topic. En su grupo de WhatsApp ya pueden ver ustedes las preguntas. Ya debe estar por llegarles. Give me a second. A ver, llegarles, sí. Ya debió haberles llegado. So, let me share with you the link of this Padlet. You know how to use Padlet, right? A estas alturas del partido ya deben ser, pero experts utilizando Padlet. So, can you see the link on your chat box, guys? Yes, no, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Open the link, guys. Open the link. And there you have the explanation. Aquí tenemos la explicación, exactamente lo que les acabé de decir. Students will have to think of a skill they know how to do well. It can be something you do with a study, work, sports, or free time activities. Then you will have to write a guide using the words or phrases to introduce purpose, or you can also use this or this if possible. They should include information based on these questions. How easy is to learn this skill? What are the problems people have when learning it? And what are good ways to learn this skill and why are they good ways? Okay, so please guys try to write on a small paragraph using the purpose words. Don't forget to write your names, guys. No se olviden de escribir su nombre. Y si ya hay personas que tienen la cuenta de Padlet, por favor, ingresen a su cuenta para que me pueda salir su nombre también una vez que ustedes ya estén participando. I'm going to give you an example, and the example it's going to be the one from the reading, the first part of the reading. So I'm going to post as it was the first comment, one of the first comments, so you can see also the example, okay? So just let me copy and include this in the Padlet. Here we are, this is the example. And there we go. You can open the example if you want. Okay, guys, you can start. Please enter into the Padlet. Empiecen a ingresar al Padlet. Ahí miren, tienen ustedes el ejemplo. I will make it bigger if you want. Les voy a postear un ejemplo más grande para que puedan ver. Pero vayan ingresando, chicos. Is it clear what you have to do? Let me see.
Teacher, ¿dónde se escribe?
You haven't used a Padlet, maybe?
No, ya estoy escribiendo toda la pantalla, pero no se puede escribir.
Déjame ver, tal vez está con... ¿No les sale a ustedes el más grande al final de la parte derecha?
No, teacher.
No, teacher.
No? Okay, just...
No, teacher.
I will have to change the... Tal vez está bloqueado. Denme un segundito y les desbloqueo. 15 to 20 minutes to complete this small paragraph. Well done. Some of you are starting to write. Excellent. Don't forget to write or use the phrases in order to, so that, so, Okay, guys, well done. Let me see. Don't forget, guys, to use the words or the phrases so that, so, in order to, or to use to plus the infinitive. Saulo, don't forget to use the phrases in order to, so, so that. Tenemos ya el código del Kahoot de esta semana. Vamos a hacer un recuento de la unidad número 1, unit number 1. Ok, Gabby's in. Thank you, Gabby. Yes, Jimmy. Jimmy's tired. He's exhausted. I can see in the emoji. Liz, Brian, Melanie, thank you. Come on, guys. This is the last activity we're going to do today. So let's do this. Yo sé que ya están con hambre, con sueño, pero ya la última actividad. Come on, guys. Last activity. Okay, we're 20. Enter to the Kahoot. $27, $28, okay. 3 people more and we're done. Ready? I think this time we have 12 questions. 12 questions about this unit number 1. Get ready, guys. Vamos a ver, en sus marcas listos fuera. Ready, set, go. Let's start. Unit number 1, guys. Question number 1. They were afraid too about the noise in case they annoyed the neighbors. O sea, they were afraid to admit, to complain, to expect, to encourage. They were afraid too. They were afraid to complain. That's right. Teníamos 4 opciones. Admit, admitir, complain, quejarse, expect, esperar, y encourage, como motivar. So, yes, the right answer was complain. They were afraid to complain. Let's continue with the next. Well done. Number 2, clever salesmanship can you to buy things you don't really want. So clever salesmanship can criticize, argue, decide, or persuade to buy things you don't really want. This was kind of tricky, right? Esta estaba un poco más complicada. Nos dice, las técnicas de venta inteligentes pueden criticize, criticar, argue, argumentar, decide, decidir, o persuade, persuadirte a ti a que compres cosas que en realidad no necesitas, ¿verdad? Persuade, persuade was the right one here. Let's see, wow, how the scores changed. Number 3, he has an amount of work to finish before Friday. What do you think? Enormous, responsible, important, or annoyed? Extreme adjectives. Enormous, that's right. He has an enormous amount of work. An enormous amount of work. Let's continue with the next. Number 4, there's no way I can all these formulas before the test. What do you think? There's no way I can focus or can argue, predict, or memorize. This one is very easy, right? It's the extreme adjective of cold. It's freezing. That's right. It's freezing here. Can I close the window? Good. Let's move to number 11. If he gets aggressive and starts shouting. So if I argue, I criticize. If I furious, or if I memorize, what do you think? Yes, if I criticize him, he gets aggressive and starts shouting. Y si le criticamos, se vuelve agresivo. Let's continue with the last question. I'm not making much with my Spanish. I'm not making much brilliant, link, fluent, progress. What do you think? Yes, I'm not making much progress with my Spanish. Excellent, guys. So let's see this week's podium. Let's see. So here we have, congratulations, Prissy. Congratulations, Brian. And congratulations this week again, George. Congratulations for the first place. Also to Stefano and Jimmy, congratulations as well. And to everybody, you did an excellent job practicing this week's class and vocabulary and all the stuff we have learned in unit number 1. So guys, can you please don't forget to keep on completing the Cambridge platform. Remember that until next week, you should be able to complete the whole unit number 1. Sí, no se olviden, hasta la siguiente clase ya deberíamos haber desarrollado la parte completa de la unidad 1 en la plataforma de Cambridge. Así que tratemos de no dejar para el último y avanzar con la plataforma.